Okay, good afternoon to our listening audience all out there in Liberia, in the diaspora. It is another edition of my Lutheran Connection. We happy to be back on the show today. We want to greet our people out there. We're sorry for a little bit of delay due to some technical problem we have, but we're back on the show. And also to our host, we've been trying to get hold of our guest, and he may or he may not join us, but we're still going to continue the discussion today. We want to welcome everybody, our viewer out there, larger in Minnesota. With us, we have Couple from Canada. We have Willie also to joining us from Atlanta, Georgia. Couple, how Canada? How is going on your side? I can see all the makeup. Ah, see,
Son of my husband.
so how
He
was it
said,
today? Was it a special day today?
Matthew, you sound like my husband. He said, you make you out and where you going? I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just making up. I purposely make up for this show. Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Canada is okay. Unfortunately, today I didn't go to church. Yeah, I was so bent down. If you did a cold been giving me real severe headache. But thank God at least I'm trying. So I was unable to go to church today. But Canada is okay, especially for my end. Manitoba, the province of Manitoba, and the city of Winnipeg. Winnipeg is fine. I don't know how the weather is today. I haven't checked out and I didn't even see it but I guess the weather is cool because last night wasn't easy. It is very cool out there. Yeah.
that's
But
good.
um,
Good to hear from you. That's a special sort of special makeup. They say sometimes you don't have to go out, but you have to show
that's the
something.
way you see how you looking.
That you have to be you have to make the guy or the web attractive somehow. So what is for the end for the Georgia era?
Not bad. We've been having a severe thunderstorm in the area. Last night, several counties that were out of power, but thank God that we all are doing fine. We are all safe in our area here.
Yeah, I saw that the news. I think they had was it a tornado in that era?
Yeah, yeah. Several cities had tornado, and
Yeah.
the yeah, there were a lot of warning, like emergency warning in the area. But yeah, several cities had tornado warning effect. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no. Oh, okay, that's all that. Yeah, hopefully, thank God that you guys are safe on that side because it was all the weather report this morning when I was watching the news. They talk about in the Georgia area, Tennessee area, and some other places there was a
Yeah.
tornado that hit the area. You know?
Yeah.
But but welcome, you guys. Our host, we don't think will be with us today.
I guess.
Our
Oh,
guest rather. So we're just going to have some roundtable discussion, and that discussion will be issue because I don't know why people are trying to shy away from my Lutheran Connection talk show, the podcast. Uh, what are we doing that making people to shy away, couple? Or what is running through your mind? You are muted.
okay. For me, I don't really know. I don't know why people will want to shy away. I don't know because there is nothing new or there is nothing strange that we do on this platform that will make people to shy away. And another thing again, I think this should be a plus for our church. It should be a plus. The fact that you are called to come and discuss the church, right? So why would you want to shy away in discussing issues that has to do with the church, both be it negative or positive? development of the church. Why would you want to shy away from that? So for me, I don't know why people will want to, if they are doing it, if it is intentional that they are shying away from this platform. For me, I see no reason why they should do that. I think this place should be a place we all will come and discuss our church. Those bad things that are happening, will flag it out and see how best we can move ahead in a positive direction when it comes to the developmental aspect of our church. So people shy away from this platform. I don't think they have been real. They have been what do I say? Whether they have been truthful to themselves, whether they have been truthful to themselves, or even to the church that we all serve. Because we are not insulting anybody. We don't intimidate our guests to say when our guests come on show, we intimidate them. No, we don't. We only discuss the issue. We don't attack personalities. No, we don't. We only discuss the issue so people shine away maybe from our own point of view or from our own perspective. Maybe they got hidden agenda. But for me, I really don't know why they should shy away if I all they are shying away.
Yeah, so with it, pointed back or couples, it be you be there also to you are engaged or uh okay. Let me welcome Elijah for the Twin City or St. Paul, Minnesota. Uh,
Thank you, Dr. Dodo.
we just we start or Minnesota.
Well, Minnesota, you can see the sun is shining, but it's pretty much cold as well. But we
Yeah.
are Minnesota. We not used to too much of heat, so but we are all good, family good, everything else is good, and we are happy to be here today again.
Uh, yeah, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Our it is unfortunate that our guest cannot be on today. We make all effort to get you on, but we don't know at the levy hour communication did not go well. So I was just asking, looking at my lottery connection for the establishment up to today, you have made some contact also to people out there. What is the issue? What is the problem that people don't want to appear? They don't want to come to the show from your own perspective. What is there a problem that they show the poor care is causing in the lottery community in Liberia or in the diaspora? What is the problem? What wrote in your mind, Elijah?
Well, thank you, Dr. Dodo. That's a very good question, and with our guest shutting the curtain at the last hour, last minute the time, and that was very unfortunate to happen. But maybe people have their own reasons. But what I would like to draw our attention to is that if you listen to Dr. Jokai speaking to the men's department
Yeah, we'll get
in
back.
Kaka,
We will deep
I
into
know we're gonna get there,
that.
but I just wanted to just draw a highlight on one thing he said about accountability. We people have to be accountable, and the church leaders have to be accountable as well. So if we are members of the church, leaders in the church, particularly in the church, people who are making contribution to the church, if we are not able to stand up and be accountable for the little things that we are doing or the role that we are playing, and we don't want to talk about the issues, then who's going to talk about it? Who's going to talk about it if we're not talking about it? And I think the intent of this platform is for us to talk all things nutrient. And there are some things that we unearth here and we bring people to get clarification so that the wider church can understand what's going on. So when we invite you to the show and you believe that it's not, you don't want to come and talk, I think it would just be fine to say to us, I don't have the time at this time to appear on the show. And then we can research you and readjust and look for another gets to appear on the show or somebody. But people have their own reasons. I know we have reached out to so many different people at different point in time, and they all said, "Oh, I don't want to appear on the show because I don't want to talk. I don't want people to hear this. I don't want to say this. Or hold me this." You have to take responsibility. If you know that it's not going right, you have to speak about it. Keeping quiet cannot solve the problem. We have to speak about the ills in the church. Today, we're looking at our neighbors across the street. Everybody focusing on our neighbors across the street. Across the street, they got noise in their compound. Okay, our compound looks like it's quiet, but our compound is not really quiet. Our compound is very tense. Okay, because people are moving like dynamite. They are ready to explode the moment you poke them, but they don't want to speak out. Is that the kind of church you want to be in? Like we come to church, we sit in the same pew, but we can talk to one another about the issues. If you want to talk about it, other person say, I mean, I don't want to, I don't want anybody to call my name. How are we going to be accountable then? Are we going to hold leaders accountable? So if the church is not holding its leaders accountable, how can the society hold their leaders accountable? And the church is supposed to serve as an example for the community. The church is the spiritual guardians to the society. So if the church cannot set that example, what are we telling society? What example are we leading society into?
Elijah,
So
let me
that's
hold
just
you
what I
right
want to
there.
say to that.
Yeah, let me hold you right there. I'll get back to you. We're deep into that. With Woody, what's your thought?
Yeah, yeah. For me, I'm just a little baffled on the fact that the same leaders that will fail to appear on the podcast and share um, their minds with the larger audience that we have, meaning the Lutheran community, they will come to us in private to discuss issues, you know, and they will come to us in private to let us know what is unfolding in the church. Like Elijah said, uh, it may seem that our yard is quiet, but our yard is not quiet. Our yard is, excuse from the lack of better expression, is on a time bomb, and it could explode because more people. I wouldn't say everyone. Let me take that back. A lot of people are not satisfied, with the way things are running, even within the administration. Money getting missing, and there's no sign of burglary. Um, People using project funds to for their personal uh, 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 goals, like using project funds for their self gain, which is not a project driven initiative. We may sit today and say, okay, our neighbors, and when we speak of our neighbors, we're talking about the United Methodist Church. Say, okay, they are in the news, so we don't want Lutheran to come in the news. But guess what? This story here is everyone knows what is going on. So if we should sit in the back end and decide that, okay, we are not coming on live to share what is unfolding, I mean, we are just worsening the situation. And I will say this quickly, and I'll turn over to you. I mean, the issue of us not having today the Luther FM, the most talk about Luther FM, that Lutherans locally, Liberian Lutherans locally supported. And I would say every parish in the Monrovia district, in Kakata district or Bond district, raised money. The money was siphoned, diverted. So we shouldn't talk about those things. When you talk about it, they say, oh, it's disrespect. And now people want to come to us in private to discuss it. Oh, you guys are doing good. You this should have been in Luther FM. You come to us in private and discuss it, but you don't want to come public to discuss it. Come on. I mean, I just see this as being deceitful. So for me, I have no problem against our guests for not appearing today. It could be some personal reasons or so, but just to the larger group that will want to discuss with us in private and don't want to appear on the podcast, I have no problem with it not appearing, but we know a lot of stuff that is unfolding, and we're going to share them. So for me, I mean, not appearing on the podcast, I mean, I have no problem with that. But if you want to share with us in private, then I mean, hey, the good news is everyone knows about it.
So thank you for that. You know, that's a concern for every one of us for the podcast. Most especially the podcast tend to be the voice for the people
Absolutely.
in the diaspora, and where we see the wrong, and the good, we will flag it out. And like you said, with the Luther FM, like that part of my podcast today, what I plan to do on a discussion, I wanted to see whether this Malnutri Connection, our podcast, can try to put a proposal together and submit it to the bishop office for the establishment of the Luther FM.
Sanatore, let me just provide this quick information that and I believe you were in Columbus, Ohio, during the Aliyah conference. The bishop, so the proposal you're talking about, the bishop are already giving us the responsibility to work on the possibility of putting a proposal together for the establishment of Luther FM. I'm just saying that, I mean, if locals could, you could contribute their hard-earned money. Okay, our parents who go to Gorbachev market, okay, they sit in the sun and in the rain. They take their hard-earned money, okay, and contribute towards a project that will benefit the entire Lutheran population. Okay, but the money today, not a penny of Luther FM can be accounted for. All right. So I mean, it's not a problem that we can, we could put a proposal together.
Yep.
We can all look at the possibility of working towards this. I know that our other colleagues, I will say this quickly, that Abel Lewelli, Dr. Josiah Jokai, and Reverend Yakpas, who along with Ambassador Tablo, we all had this conversation. Even Abel got in touch with some of his colleagues in Australia and South Africa. Okay, and they all say, okay, when you guys are ready, let us work on this proposal together. All right. So people are willing to help, but again, the issue Elijah talked about is accountability. Okay, if we can account for the little that we've been entrusted with, then what's the assurance that we're going to manage the bigger ones that are going to come? If we cannot come on my Lutheran Connection and say, okay, let us talk about the bread and butter issue in the Lutheran Church in Liberia today. And I will say that I will not be shy. I will not shy away from saying this. A lot of people in the Lutheran Church in Liberia say, okay, why all of the land around, the 13th Street compound, all of them have been leased. All right. More people have concern. They will come to and discuss in private. But to say, okay, let us come on the podcast and discuss what we know. And when the bishop come on the show, we ask the bishop what we do and what we don't know. But they wouldn't call in, they wouldn't say anything, but they would stay in the background and want to criticize the bishop. The bishop had never shy away from coming on the show. Either the bishop had traveled out of the country, he had no access to either internet service or so. That's the only reason why. But when we call Patmo, Bishop, sorry for saying Patmo, if we call Bishop Patmo appears on the show. The last time he was in, I think either Hindi or somewhere, or some part of Bonn, a remote area, but he still appear on the show. That I will give him credit for. And he in the back end. Yes, I will give him credit for that. In the back end, they will come on the show. Yeah, exactly. No, Bishop Palmer will always make himself available. He will appear on the show. That I will give him credit for.
Yeah,
so you want to criticize me? Come up. Let us look at the issue. If you want to criticize him, come and let us look at the issue. Don't sit in the back end.
Yeah, that dive into the discussion. Couple, let me bring you to this. I don't know if you follow the event in Kakata at the men department, the men auxiliary fellowship, and the keynote speaker, Dr. Josiah Joka, who is a founder of one of the founders of the podcast here. And if you read or listen to his speech, I don't know, but for me, that speech was very powerful. He hit the nail on the head on so many of the issues that affect our church He tell about accountability, transparency, providing need for fund for the bishop, the pastors, and things there. And one thing he said that we should be bold and be truthful in our statement as we address the issue. What is your thought
Yeah,
on Dr. Joker remark or speech he gave to the men department? If you follow up, if you read it.
no, I didn't. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't read Brother Joker's speech at the men conference. I didn't even know there was a men conference. It was this morning when I saw the photo, a closing of the convention. But then I think you share it with us, right? But I did not go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the things he
I
said.
started it from the beginning, but really I didn't complete it.
Yeah,
Seriously.
let me just read your answer from
So if you
what.
can just highlight or you just read the speech, so we can get
Yeah, I'll just be going through. I just highlight some important part.
yeah.
But one thing he said, we must be bold in our truth. Do we speak honestly to our church leader, the bishop, the executive council, and our parishes about the good and the evil they do? That's the answer from his speech. He tell about accountability and transparency. Do we honestly speak to them about the church?
Yeah, for me, the issue of bold, what he said we should be bold in our truth, it is something that I see as a Christian that we should do, right? It better we be bold in our truth, we say it and be done with it, than to pretend that all is well, like what he said. You refuse to come on the podcast, but then you go at the back and you say things. You say things, but then okay, you're saying these things. Yeah, these are issues that are affecting our church. Yeah. So can we come and discuss it? Then at the end of the day, shy away. Oh, I don't want to be in that people thing. Do you consider that as people thing? For me, I always tell people the error. Once I know that my church are into it, then not people think that my own setting we were talking, we were discussing. So the issue that people shy away from discussing the truth. It's just another form of being very, very untruthful to yourself. We can say the truth. For me, saying the truth, I think that once the truth is said, we put them behind us and we forge ahead. But once you did not tell the person the truth, then it becomes modest. People keep things in heart, and at the end of the day, when they when it exploded, then it becomes an issue. Our neighbors are out there, but we thinking that all is well. All is not well from our end, but we pretending that all is well. We have a lot of issues under the table, and we are shy away from discussing it. So, boy, in our truth as a Christian, I think it should be our first priority when it comes to us being truthful to ourselves in a church that we call that we love so much, and we cannot say the truth. Then what is that?
Yeah,
We're
that's
just
a good
deceiving
point.
ourselves. Yes.
Yeah, you know, and we had to hold them accountable, or yeah, Elijah. So going back to the same Josiah's speech at the men fellowship or their conference, he said so many things. He talked about the $56,000 financial malpractice of the church. He talked about the bishop, resident, money, and other issues that had to do with accountability in the church. He spoke a whole lot about the present condition of the church. He said that we should be bold to speak to the bishop, the executive council, the parishes, and who are authority. I just paraphrasing some of his statement. But what is your take on his speech?
Thank you, Dr. Toto. The speech was very unique, to the point, and very clear. And I should give Dr. Joker an applause for speaking up in the midst of the men of the Lutheran Church in Liberia and in the presence of the bishop, because the bishop was right in that room when Josiah was delivering his keynote address to the men's department. and he used their team from Habakkuk 2 to like write the vision, make it plain, and he asked some real critical questions to the men and asking them as to whether they have this vision and how are they using this vision to uplift the church and to strengthen the LCO and the Lutheran Church at large. So he held them accountable, and then he also brought to the attention of them the ills in our church, and people are certain of those things. And he, one of the things he says that we should start being, we should start pretending, you know, it's not a time to have a passionate what do you call it? Yeah, passionate leadership where you're praising the bishop when the bishop is doing wrong. You don't say the truth to the bishop. You get lie for him, and then when you turn your back, you go and say different thing at the back of the bishop, and everything is just going upside down. So he said that he called the church to attention that there are so many things happening in our church. There are so many questions that we need answers for. And if we cannot answer these calls and listen to what Habakkuk says, that we should write the vision and make it plain, and then so that those who read it will be able to run with it,
Let me
then
run.
where are we hailing then? Where are we hailing as a church? If we are pretending and we are not holding one another accountable, we are not holding the church leaders accountable, but we play deaf ears to what's happening in the church, and then we act that everything is normal. And that's what Dr. Jokia was calling our attention and the entire LCO. He said it's about time that we start putting our faith into action in order to uplift the church. And one of the things he said, and Bishop Podmore, when on this podcast, I think we said it before, the issue about misappropriation of the church's money, people who have stolen from the church. I said that this is one of the things that is a case study for the Podmore leadership. If the Podmore leadership cannot bring to bear some of these cases and report to the LCO and say, this is what happened, we persecuted, and this is where we are. And we have made mention about the publicity and the information arm of the LCO to be very robust in providing information about what the bishop office is doing.
They have some, Elijah. I'm not cutting you
I
off.
don't know. That's what we're saying. The general secretary should have oversight over that. So his office should be able to start disseminating information because, like the bishop emeritus house, the money for the bishop house that Dr. Jog had mentioned, that money today the LCO, the ELCA requested the LCO to pay that money back to them because they did not use the money for the intended purpose. So everything that the ELCA is sending to the LCO, they subtract certain amount that goes towards the repayment of that 25,000 out of the send the LCO. So just to provide you guys that information, if you guys are not aware that money that the judge
Yes, yes.
talks about, the
So the bishop
LCO
talk
is
about it here. The bishop talk about it here. We talk about it here before.
Yeah, we talked about it before, yeah.
so yeah, so the LCA is paying that money back to the ELCA because they misappropriated that money, which was very wrong. Now he talks about the lease property, and that's a very important thing. It's very crucial. Like you have that Lebanon man putting all the giant sized buildings around the compound, and you have your compound in the middle there. He's overshadowing them with those multi buildings. What's the mission? What's the vision for your property? How are you going to compete with those buildings that he's putting around you? How are you reinvesting the fundings you're getting from these lease agreements? How are you using them? I know the bishop office should have an answer to that question. They may have so many things to say about how they're doing it, but without sharing that information with the community or with the church, how do we know? How do we know how things are going? And now people will go with speculations. People will go with different things in their mind, like, Oh, the people that mismanaging the money, they are leasing the church's property. They don't say anything about how they're using the money. They're eating the money. They're eating the money. The what they were saying. Somebody will give you money to go and buy a car for a project. Boom, that car is in the person's name. They're driving it. Okay, what's the information around that? So when we invite those kind of people and say, come and answer a question about what happened here, and then
Yeah.
they shy away and they say, I'm not coming there.
Okay, Elijah, let me hold you right there. Yeah, I will get back to you as we
Wendy,
discuss.
can you put the number down here so
So
people can be able to call in?
that's why I just want to make that announcement to our viewer out there. We have the roundtable discussion. If you want to call to participate in the show, you're welcome. If you have a question or concern, you can put in the chat room. During our second round of questioning or discussion, we'll read your comment and your question. So what it?
Yeah.
What you thought
But Toto, before Weddy's come in, there's something Weddy mentioned. I want to just throw a light on it.
yeah, 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah, okay. He talks about the Columbus, Ohio convention, where he said it was agreed at that convention that the Luther FMs be reinitiated, right? Weddy?
Yeah, I said Bishop made a proposal to us.
Okay, so Bishop have already given us the go ahead
Us.
to see how best to initiate the Luther FM. So since that time, have there been any progress or any meeting or any discussion when it comes to that?
The short answer is no, and there are reasons behind it, but maybe we can
So yeah,
focus
we
on
can,
the day. We're gonna come up with Luther FM on the issue, but the short answer is no. Like,
yeah, because
he told us in his speech. In his speech, he just told us in his speech, and because he mentioned my Lutheran connection, he said how we appear on that, but
I do have it on the next.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
So to the point that Toto Couple and Elijah have expanded on this, but I would say this, that yes, the Bible in Matthew 6:21, the Bible says, where your treasure is, there where your heart will be. I'm making this reference to Couple. When Couple said that, so long I'm part of this church, anything I wrong in it or good in it, I will say it. And it's supported by the Bible. The Bible says that wheresoever our treasure is, our heart will be there. So long we're part of the Lutheran church, we've sacrificed in the Lutheran church, we've done everything in this Lutheran church, we'll put our mouth in the Lutheran church business. Has the church come up to really talk about this artificial burglary? Because money got missing from the past administration, money now missing in this other administration. The procurement officer resigned. You brought your own relative. Isn't that conflict of interest? Did you pull up a vacancy?
Who was the relative?
The treasurer nephew. Okay, bring your nephew as the procurement of the current treasurer nephew. So the treasurer was invited to come. The treasurer agreed at the very last minute, like today. The treasurer dished out on us. The treasurer dished out on the very last minute. The treasurer dished out. Buy out, decided not to come. Again, there are so many things that are happening in our church, and if we don't come out to speak about it, like signing on $500 United States on behalf of the youth, and the youth have not seen that money. The funds that were, funds that was that raised, Abel Lewity came to the diaspora. He sought out, the opportunity to raise money for the youth. That money went up until now. There's still question about where that money is. I heard from someone say it's like in a dark hole. We can be having a church and be having a dark hole.
All right.
So we need to be transparent with somebody. We need to say it. No, I mean, I'm sorry. We need to be upfront. Okay. and make the information clear to our people so that we don't be in a crisis as our neighbors today. I will come to this that Dr. Jokai said, and I will rephrase it. He said, how can we, oh, sorry. Sorry, I was right to that point. I think, give me 1 second. All right, so this is what he said. He said, how can we be successful? But he talked about being successful when he said that he talked about the shepherd, the shepherd the shepherd is weary. But I would transform that to say the sheep, all right, because we have the sheep and the shepherd. So I would say the sheep is weary. How can the sheep perform when the sheep is weary? When the sheep does not have the opportunity, when the sheep want to say some things, the sheep is afraid of being reprimanded.
Yeah.
Either from a position perspective or being an employee, or in the code of public opinion. Okay, but for me, I would say this, that even if I'm an employee or not, or if something is said against me in the larger society, in our church, I will still come up. If something that is not right, I will speak about it, because this is what Martin Luther said. Martin Luther said that we are not only responsible for what we say, but what we know and speak not of it. I'm just rephrasing it. Okay, we are not only responsible. I will go there, and I will go directly, and I will quote directly, word for word what he said. Okay, that, just give me one second, and I will read that right here. He said, you are not only responsible for what you say, but also for what you did not say. It means you did not say it, you also held responsible for that. You're going to be held liable for that. You know something that happened. And we're taking this as a whole society issue. Okay, we don't want to say anything about it. Let's be quiet. As a church, we shouldn't upset this person. We shouldn't upset the next person.
Yeah, that's good.
the doctor is right here. Our boss is right there. Okay, so welcome, Dr. Jokai. So that's the thing. That a lot of things that Dr. Jokai said, in his speech, that I think we cannot even take today, because I was thinking that perhaps we could go a segment by segment and actually look at it, because there are so many things he talked about.
Yeah, there's so many things he talked about. Yeah, but I'll get back to you. Welcome, DG. We're happy to get to the show. Let me play all your mind also too. The topic that Dr. Jokai spoke of, the topic was, where is the vision?
Taratoro, sorry to interrupt you. I think from the comment of the Dane Jala, in all honesty, Dane Jala, you are welcome. We can send you the link. You are welcome to join us on the show so we can have the conversation.
Yeah,
we have invited him.
Well, we've invited him on so many occasions.
He refused.
No, he has not turned up. And I can say again, all credit to the Bishop Patmos, all credit to him, Reverend P. Credit to Reverend P. When we invite them, even if the bishop, unless he's not in the country or he's in a very remote area, but if he's in an area where the network is, Bishop Patmos will appear on the show. Credit to him.
So now let me come back to you. The topic that Dr. Jokai spoke of, the topic was, where is the vision of the Lutheran, of the National Men Fellowship? Where's the vision? That's the topic. And then,
that team? What's that? What the team? What are the men's convention team?
Where is the vision?
Oh, that was that team. Okay.
Yeah, the topic. Where is the vision?
No, that was his topic.
That
was his topic.
So
she's asking for the team of the convention.
No, that is the team. I just gave you the topic. The topic of the topic. He spoke of where is the vision. And then Bishop spoke. He closed the convention in his sermon. He spoke on the team, where are we with the vision?
Okay.
And then one of the key statements for that for his sermon was that he said that they have they have forces and force. They are there to destroy the vision also too. They are there for people to they are vision breaker. So people don't want the vision to come live, to be there to destroy the vision, to break the vision. So looking at what Dr. Joker spoke of, and the way Bishop Clamasi, for the vision to be successful, people should leave their forces and forces behavior to move to the next age. I'm just paraphrasing it. But the key thing talk about facts and forces that they will destroy the vision. What your thought on it?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Toto. Yes, you said Bishop said, where is the what of the vision?
Facts.
He said, where's the vision? There are foxes to destroy the vision.
Yeah.
Yes, you know
Where
that,
are people with the vision?
and there will always be people who will be on the opposite side of every good decision you will come up with. But then it doesn't stop you from continuing what is good, right? What is good? What is the vision for the men, the National Lutheran men? These are men. Well, when they stand up and say, we want to do this, we can do it. But are they doing it? Are they doing it? Or whatsoever they're doing, is it in the interest of the church, of the LCL? Is it? So the vision of our father, for me, I call them our father, right? The men's department, they are our father. I think this should be at that peak of decision making or telling the truth. But for me, I don't see it as that. I don't see it as that, because Elijah said something about the 25,000, right? The 25,000 that ESCA is comparing LCL to pay because it was mismanaged.
So
You won't believe it that decision. Yeah.
I want to ask a question on that aspect also too. Maybe you can put it in your conversation if you know about it too. Why Elijah said, do we have tangible evidence that we can point to our head that LCA made that decision that the Lutheran Church in Liberia should pay such money back? Do we have that hardcore evidence?
Dr. Toro, let me add Dr. Toro quickly. The bishop said it here. The bishop said it here.
That's what I want to say.
The bishop said it.
For me, that was my first time. This was my first time hearing it from Elijah, right? But then you guys said Bishop admitted it on this platform.
I don't make sure that we have our evidence.
Bishop admitted it on this platform. And the administration that mismanaged that money, why can't this pay for this money? It's another sign of accountability. And for what I was on the men, right? We have private council that attended that executive council meeting when those decisions were made. What was that? What was the plan on that? What did they say in those private council meetings about concerning that 25,000? Because when that 25,000 issue came about, people said it was executive council agreement. They said executive council endorsed that. And I know men who are heading parishes, who when they stand out, they speak. People listen to them. But those men were also in the executive council meeting when the decision was taken. So the issue of bold in truth. So what are the boldness in that truth during that administration? So where is the vision now? As for the men department, where is the vision? So this is what I'm saying. There are people who say the truth, and there are people who dare to obstruct the truth.
Okay, let me go you there. Yeah. Let me go you there. Let me go you there. You're getting firing here. Let me go you there.
It's getting firing.
Elijah.
Yes.
Where is the vision? So can we say the men department, the women department, the youth auxiliary, they are all their compromise?
Look, let me tell you guys something. Well, let me tell you guys something. let me give kudos to the men department of the Lutheran Church in Liberia. I think they are one of the strongest men department in the entire country when it comes to the religious institutions in Liberia. And the men department in the LCL has been dead for so many years. Peace be to his Archie Brother J. Benedict Clark was very instrumental in reorganizing and bringing the men department together before he passed away. But as Dr. Joker challenged the men, there were some critical questions that Dr. Joker, before he went deep into his speech, he asked the men, how many times have we hurt people? And how many times have we apologized to people? And how long we want to continue to do this? How active is our vision? And then he quoted from so many different biblical. He made so many different biblical references to being a church and being people of God and being what the church is about. And then he defined what the men's auxiliary is. All right, that body that is there to strengthen and uplift the church spiritually and support the church as well. So when people are asking this kind of question, and then you are sitting in that pew and listening to a colleague of yours who's asking all these critical questions, and then he comes down and asks you to be accountable because we are lost in the vision. We cannot see the vision. You are having a convention
Don't go
on a
Elijah,
yeah,
Elijah,
yeah.
Elijah.
Yes, bro.
How, Elijah? The question now is, how do the vision come to pass? We already
You have
say everything that we are saying
okay.
everything.
How,
Everything.
how can
How
we
the
bring
vision,
how
the
can
vision
the
to come,
vision come to
reality come to
pass?
pass?
How can the vision come to pass? This is what I'm going to say to this. All right. The last time we hosted Leo Nyapulu on the show, we spoke about so many innovative things here. The last time we hosted Cesar Goya, we spoke about the All Lutheran Conference. And as we are hosting these shows, we are providing information. We are giving suggestions to the church on how we can go about. And we said the Lutheran Church is at the crossroad. And I always say this on the show. The Lutheran Church in Liberia is not brain drain. We have people of capabilities. And the church needs to knock on the doors of people who have the technical know-how. If you don't reach out to people who got the technical know-how, you will be struggling with situations that somebody can help you just leave from. Go. The church got property, but she's still struggling. You set up investment commission. The investment committee not working. Why are you keeping them there? Bring somebody who is innovative, who is energetic to move that. Bishop, you want the people to work. You don't appoint committee and the committee sits down and does nothing, and you as the bishop, you take no action. So what is the vision of appointing that committee? Because you want to achieve something in your administration. That's the reason why you appoint committees to work with you. So if the committee is not working, you change them and you bring somebody who's willing to work. That's how you bring the vision to life. And Dr. Joker made mention about auditing the church. Bishop, when you were coming in office, you said, when I get into office, I'm going to audit. You set up the verification committee. That became political. People politicize the process. So because people politicize the process, Bishop, in your mind, you're not doing the right thing. You are doing the right thing for the church. So because people politicize the process, so you draw back from the process because you don't want to be looked at being the person who's drawing the church into popular ridicule. No, people will always complain. Like Couple said, the past administration mismanaged $25,000 that the LC that the ELCA requested the LCA to repay this money. Why those who mismanaged the money, they were not called and held accountable to pay this money. But because leadership is continuing with it and Bishop Parkman is in office, that's the reason why the church administration is paying it because the bishop, that administration is gone. So this administration will take on that debt and pay
Okay.
that debt.
Okay, Elijah, let me hold you right there. I will get back to you. With it, where
No,
is the vision?
so
Hold on,
where is the vision?
hold on with it. Let me pick your mouth.
Okay.
We talk about accountability. Accountability also comes with proof. So when we accuse, we should come with proof. I hear you in terms of the vision accountability. In your intro, you talk about the youth, about money, about Abel raising fund, about 50,000 for the youth.
No, 12,000.
12,000.
Yes.
Do we have evidence of tangible proof that we can point to that such fund was raised and it was diverted into the wrong area or not used or maybe it got frozen somewhere? Can you speak about that? In terms of evidence and proof. When we talk about accountability, I want to be clear with our audience. They say, you will preach equity, should come with clean hand also too. That means our information be transparent also too.
Most definitely. And you know, it says that the truth lies in the pudding, right?
Yeah.
But Abel Lowell is the soul.
Remember that we are discussing.
No, absolutely. And we are credible.
Talk about borders, accountability.
Absolutely. And we are a credible institution. So we will not speak information that we don't have proof to. Okay. And so this what happened when Abel came on one of his so many trips that he made to the US and Canada, most especially Canada. That's where the money was raised, 12,000 for the youth. It was sent to the church. And it was the past administration, not this current administration, the past administration. So that money was diverted. And by the end of that administration, there was an arrangement made to repay the money to the youth, and that money had not been paid yet. So now, and speaking of truth, read this comment. Sorry, I didn't mean to mention this. Read this comment from this is the youth president of the Monrovia District Lutheran Youth Fellowship. Okay. And he's a career engineer, so I don't think anything is going to scare him. So he said, disappointment, dissatisfaction of the youth in handling the affairs of the NLI by central office is 8.8 to 10%. If you go further down, he has another comment right here. A lengthy one. He talked about the 500 raise, okay, by the NLIS, if even a president major not accounted for. So we're not just speaking because we want to speak. This is an official of the National Lutheran Youth Fellowship. I want to go quickly to the point that my dear brother, Elijah made. I think one of the failures of this administration is, or I would say for Bishop Patmos administration, I want to be precise on the Bishop Patmos administration, is to follow up on some of his campaign, let's say signature issues of a campaign, campaign promises. One of them is the issue of asset and the issue of accountability, asset verification. Again, asset verification is totally different from audit. It's the same thing with the Republic of Liberia,
What's
the whole
asset?
asset recovery.
What's the asset recovery part of his campaign promises?
It was not asset recovery. No, Liberia is doing asset recovery, but asset verification. He spoke about it. Yes, he spoke about it. It was part of it. Yeah, he spoke about it. I want to say this, that I would make mention of two leaders. People may not be a fan of them. Okay. The president, the current president, and the youngest president, I would say perhaps in the world, I stand to be corrected. President Ibrahima Traoré of Burkina Faso. This man came to power.
We are discussing our church battle.
I'm talking about leaders. I'm making reference to leaders. Not military, but
we are discussing literacy.
I know this, but Dada Toto, is the issue of standing on what you promise, standing for the truth, or standing for your people. Ibrahima Traoré came on the mantle saying that the guy who took over is not standing for his people. He riding with the big boys. Today, I just watched a documentary on Ibrahima Traoré. Today, Ibrahima Traoré, he still receive his pay as a captain
and he's doing things in the interest of his people. The next thing is speaking on campaign promises and doing what you promised during campaign time. The next person is Donald Trump. Nobody, I mean, a lot of people may not be a fan of him, but I will say this. I mean, and sorry, Donald Trump. Donald Trump spoke on a lot of issues that why he was elected for, and he's doing them now. Donald Trump spoke on tariff. He's doing tariff. Donald Trump spoke on the issue of, I mean, there's so many things Donald Trump spoke on, and he's doing them right now.
That kept
And that's
back
why people
to
love him. So
that
again,
kept back to the church.
if our bishop,
Lutheran.
yes, back to the 13th Street compound, back on the 13th Street compound. If our bishop can say, listen, if I don't take pay for 1 year, I shouldn't take pay. This asset verification, we want to know what we have as Lutherans. We want to know all of our property and everything as Lutherans. If I will not take pay for a whole year, I shouldn't take pay. If I shouldn't rock, I shouldn't rock. But we should verify all of our assets. That's the beginning. But guess what happening now? Somebody go and withdraw, borrow money. You got all the banks in Liberia. You didn't go borrow money, but you borrow money from church coffers to go buy a personal car with it. Come on now. What are some of the things that we're doing in the church?
Hold on. Let me take it back. Who took money out of the church car and bought a personal car?
It's a lie.
Who?
It's alleged. Okay. It's alleged. It's alleged. It is alleged. Okay, it is alleged. It is alleged that.
Yeah.
Okay, it is alleged that the bishop. I'm very sorry. It is alleged that the BA had the opportunity to borrow money from the church and buy a car because he ain't got. But if you buy a car, buy for the office of the BA, not your personal car.
Okay, the BA.
Make mention that HRVN is director too.
The BA.
Okay, yeah, okay. HRVN director Elijah come in on that.
It's also alleged that the HRVN director was given money to buy a car for the institution, but that car was directed into her name. So we need to verify all this information. So it's alleged, but we would like to get these people on here, especially the HRVN director. We would like to have her on the show. Because
the BA will come on the show.
The BA will come on the show. Yeah,
Toto, I think it will be very important for us to host the director for HRVNH.
Invitation, have you
I said that's what I said. There's a need for her to appear. There's a need for her to appear because there are a lot of things that we are talking. We're talking about the radio station. Now we're talking about individual in the LCA that bought cars and put those cars in their personal name.
Allegedly.
So
there's a public invitation for Reverend Davis.
Yeah. Reverend Davis. So Reverend Davis to come here and clear the air around some of these things, so she can tell us exactly what happened to the purchase of the car. And then at the end of the day, why is she paying back the radio station money? Where did she go wrong? I know the report was there, but we want to understand what persuaded
why she had to pay the money back.
You know, why she got to pay that money back? She got to make it clear. And you see, that total part of that Joker's speech to the men, when he was talking about strengthening the institution, and then he takes from what the bishop was talking about, helping the pastors. You see, he said when the shepherd is
that's hopeless, the point I was speaking. No, it's hopeless,
and helpless. How can he move?
How can he move? How can
as members in the congregation, as parish pastors, congregational members, we have to rally around the leaders. But if that trust is not established at the top, then it becomes hard for the people at the bottom to keep supporting. And like, what do you say? Radio station money was raised, okay, but today it did not materialize. Today, we are talking about somebody is paying back that money, or report was made, investigation will have somebody is paying that money back. Was that money raised so that somebody can mismanage it and then pay it back? Or it will pay to have a radio station in the LCO. And what
Thank you.
necessitated the misuse of that money? So these are
Mhm.
some of the questions that we should be asking these people that are placed in position of trust within the church.
Definitely so. Yeah.
Because if you cannot manage the small one today, how can you manage the big one tomorrow?
So would it
Yeah.
let's try to recognize our viewer out there and go into the comment section to see what they have to say. And then we'll come to the next segment of the discussion where we'll focus on as a platform, as a podcast, what can we do that to help the Lutheran Church in Liberia? That's why we're talking about Lutheran FM. We are done. We are holding accountable. We are talk all the good things. But what can we do now as a platform to help in the process? So that recognize our viewer out there, and the number is out there. Those are the call, the number below the screen, and that recognize and see and try to tap into their comment.
All right, yeah, I want to recognize our brother Leroy Solonquele Molbar. He's following us from Grand Cape County. I know brother Leroy from the National Lutheran Youth Fellowship. Emmanuel Sumo Cowboy, that's my little brother. He's following from King George, Grand Cape County.
Okay, King George. They already
Yeah,
had a father
yeah,
the last time, right? King George, they had
right.
also Rossi. Was that
Yeah,
King
yeah, but he's safe. He's safe actually,
Okay.
and he's safe actually. Our Reverend Small P. Kokolo, I mean, he's always on the show. I always like to leave our father for last, so I will get back to him. Our dear brother Dala Pedro Pakla.
Padala?
Dala will have to take that Pedro name from the middle. Oh no, Pedro.
Pedro.
Okay, I saw like Pedro because I want to say that
Pedro.
Pedro name sound like Chelsea name. You gotta take that from the Pedalo. Oh, that's a Pele name. Okay. All right. So yeah, our Reverend Smokey Cockler, he said the lack of accountability is one of the biggest factor that is draining our church, down today, and broken our trust. It has broken our trust at all levels. That's true. The lukewarm money. I mean, I know we are told to restitute lukewarm money, but what was said about it, people raise money. How much were raised? How much were paid? But we don't know yet. All right, Dala Pakla, again, he's here. He said the issue of our leaders or statemen not wanting to come to this platform or listen to it is because they are not good at hearing the hard truth, most especially from young people they see to be their children. I mean, yeah, you're right, Brother Pakla. Yeah, and our sister Angeline Yekesin, she
Okay.
looked familiar. I think Elijah, she's from St. Peter's, right?
I just like I say, my sister from
Yeah.
Toyota, she busy.
From,
with
oh, okay.
Toyota.
Yeah, I think the problem is lack of transparency, self-interest, and greed. Yeah, I mean, she's right. But Pedro is here again. Pedalo Pakla. The last time at home, the youth activities, they had this question asked: what is the major problem that is affecting the young people of the fellowship? Irresponsible parenting is causing. Okay. It's causing the young people, the fellowship, a whole lot. I mean, yeah. So our sister Royal Nippy G, that's Sis Nippy Jawe. She's right here. She says she's watching from Minneapolis. Reverend again, Smoke Cockle, you talk about lack of accountability. Our Reverend Dr. Torbert Thomas Jala, he's from St. Matthew's Parish. Sis Lila Meli Kopo, Elijah Heb, Lila Moni Kopo, and she's watching from Kakata, St. Paul. That's our Dr. Josiah Jokai, a founding member. It's a good evening, team. He says, refreshing to see my Legion connection, powerful and live. Yes, and you will be coming here very shortly again. William Peewee, what is the central office LCL doing about people who are taking church land, specifically Toyota Parish? You see, that's another concern.
That's an issue in Toyota.
Yeah, that's an issue in Toyota. Yeah, but William Peewee is following from Toyota as well. But Sister Goya, Dr. Jukai, he said he's hungry. He said a show. Okay, he said a show need to start inviting newer clergy members and hearing new idea vision by LCA. Yeah, you are right.
And that's a
All right.
boost of the Elijah, the insider. We
Yeah.
need to bring some newer pastors there.
But we're bringing
Well,
Pastor BBC.
But we're bringing new pastor and they dishing out all at the last minute. So you can't hold our insider for that. You can't hold our insider for that. All right. Okay. So this is Dr. Jokai's response to Brother Cesar Goya saying that he's hungry. He said, Brother Goya, Brothers Toto, Cowboy, and Sis Couple have enough food. I don't think that's right.
Oh, buddy, man. Anyway, we'll cash out in there.
I know. Our sister is here, Sis Angela Yekesin. The church is not growing as long as the leaders and head of the church are not transparent. I mean, like I said, a lot of people have concerns, but for them to come up and and the platform is created for them to come and say something. So as long as we continue to elect bishop through the political process, there will always be people who strongly believe that the vision of the side that does, vision of the side that does win. The true hallmark of winners is his whole ability to bridge the gap. That's true. Yeah. All right. So here, speaking of the 500, speaking of 5,900, our insider can also talk about that because he was youth president.
I really want you to bring that. Can you bring back that?
Okay. Yeah.
That
All
where Brother Dad speaks about the raise the $5,000 in the event. Okay, let me read it.
Yeah.
500 US dollar raise for the NYF is even the
Not
the
accounted for.
not accounted for the fund. Imagine past leadership of the NYF walk out of the depleted account for the NYF. Official turning over LD 5,900 while the former president agrees to pay back 4,700. Others funds still being discovered. The young people asked the central office for the audit of the past leadership. It's almost a year now, and not a single meaningful discussion has been taken by the central office to bring these past youth leaders to book.
We need to bring the young people, especially that's alignment because I also investigated on this 500 issue. I think an invoice or so was written or request was written to the central office, and the check was written and given to someone else to cash it. I think not even from the youth fellowship. So we need to bring the youth, and we can all discuss this.
We need to bring that also too. To try to bring the youth on board.
Yep. And Dr. Joka is saying that he's in for the All Liberian Lutheran Conference proposed by Brother. He said it is a strategic approach. That's true. Okay, so I'm not supporting Donald Trump, Brother Goya. I'm just talking about standing for what you said. I mean, if I tell anybody that if I'm going to be the bishop of the Lutheran Church in Liberia, which of course I'm just an acolyte, I'm not a pastor. If I become bishop of the Lutheran Church in Liberia, I will make sure that Elijah Zina is, going to be my deputy. I will make sure that he's my deputy instead of bringing Kopo as my deputy. That's the example I was just giving. Anyway. So Zoin Bravo guy, he says Zoina V Cannon saying Bravo guys. Thank you. Yeah. And our brother again said, can there be a special election every month to discuss
special edition?
Special edition every month to discuss issue. Yes, brother.
Definitely so. That's a good proposal.
We definitely want that. I think Elijah, if you remember, one time we had a proposal saying that there will be something for the youth and men and women, but sometimes they don't come. We have it right here. Something for the youth and the men and the women. We have it here. So but Dara Kokola, I'm saying Kokoya. But Dara Pakla, we're going to discuss that. And I mean, time is fast spent. Last but not the least is always our father, and I like to pronounce his name. Menipere K. Smo. He's always following us from St. Louis, Missouri. And he says, one of the problems of the LCL is to investigate accountable issues and say the truth and support to the LCL. And that's the absolute truth. The absolute truth. And Dada Joka is saying, Brother Elijah, I like the way
You took my
Oh, okay.
speech
You took my
part.
speech apart.
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah, and
okay.
Brother Cesar Goya said great show. Yes, guys,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Please call in. The
If you want
numbers
to
are
call
here.
in,
You know,
yeah,
just call in and participate.
yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to our viewer out there. Good comment, good question. I enjoy it. I like
Yeah.
the comment.
Mhm.
That's very good. We are trying to wind down the show, but what we wanted, I just want to focus on like I said, the Luther FM. The bear on my mind. If BBC were to appear on the show, it could have been one of my questions I'm not asking. But since we on the show now as a
Sorry, Dada Tudo. Sorry, Dada Tudo. Is Dada Jokai? Please, I pronounce this name. The proper name is Milipele Kesmo. Manipulate Kesmo. Manipulate Kesmo.
Mama man, that word can carry him on. Better book and pronounce that name properly.
so guys, so like I was saying, right? This podcast is making a headway in the Lutri community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Through YouTube, media is getting so powerful now.
Yeah.
In terms of spreading the gospel through so many ways now. The Lutheran Church need to make some move. Now, even though we may not be so perfect to where we are today, but at least we have our university. It will somehow get fixed somewhere, but at least we have achieved that other aspect of it, because every time Lutheran don't have a university, that will have something going, but now it's not there yet. But I believe it will get there somehow. So the Luther FM, which is in terms of communication, we are the face of the media platform of the LCR right now, for the Lutheran Church in Liberia. I was looking at where the network, where the platform, we can work together with the support of the bishop. Officer will be here next week if he appear for all to put a proposal together to raise that money and to get a transmitter, to get the office, the studio set up for this Luther FM. I think we can make it.
Wait.
So, Corporal Akabi, let me just let my thought. Because after me, you'll be the last person you speak on the aspect. So I wanted to get your view. Why our listener out there listening to us? Because our word will be accountable to them also too. We talk about transparency also too. We talk about accountability. Our word will be held accountable to them also too. So I want to get your view on it. On a proposal for the re-establishment or the reintroduction of the Luther FM to be kicked off by the platform with the support of the Lutheran Church in Liberia and our partner and with the support of you guys, with the bishop office and whatsoever, I can head that proposal committee. We can put a draft proposal together and share with everybody. We set a team together. We look at that proposal. We have some cool folks in that, like Elijah always say. When we talk about Bring Dream, our church is blessed with it. We have Dr. Josiah out there. We have Sister Goya out there. We have Elijah here. We have Willie here. We have Kopo here. We have so many people out there that have that when it comes to resources, human capacity, we can make them happy. Instead of talking every day, the Luther FM, we can take on that journey and we can make it successful and we can make it happy. So what's your take on it? I will start with you, Kopo. While we try to wind down the show.
Yes, that's a good one, Dr. Tutu. But I don't know really as I really can wrap my head on that. And there was a proposal from Brother Abel concerning this Luther FM transformer to get
Yes,
so I
yes,
don't
I was
know.
going to mention that. Sorry.
Yes.
So if the son is out there with it,
Yeah, we already have a Scarlington. Yeah, we already have a Scarlington.
It's something out there. Can we dab into it?
Yes, this is what I want us to do.
Yeah.
That meet with Brother Abel and see how far he went with that proposal, especially the issue of the transmission, right? I think that was the first one in getting
Transmitter.
a transmitter.
Yeah.
Mm.
To
So
telecom and bureau.
yeah, we can start from there. We meet Brother Abel. Doctor, is he a doctor now? Dr. Abel or what?
No, Brother Ibeja keep adding the masters together. I don't
He's
know.
the
Uh,
master Abel.
all right. So
Let our Master
uh,
Ibe.
our first step, we all can arrange a conference call with him
Yeah.
and get his view on the first proposal that he did and see where we can pick up from. But that's a good idea. Like we all said, the first initiated, it did not materialize, and the issue of mismanagement came about, of which the money was repaid. If that money was repaid, what happened to it? Where is it? Is it aside for the project? Hold it
Yeah,
and put it, or
that's
it have
why
been
The conversation will be held around that.
remanaged again.
It have been
that's why
remanaged.
yeah, that's why I don't want
Again.
yeah, couple
We don't
couple
know.
No, so this time around,
couple I
is
don't
gonna be
want
a 2.0.
yeah,
We're gonna
I
look
don't
into
want
it.
for our conversation to go back to where it is. That will help us that'll be difficult for to move because we do that
No,
exist.
no, Dada Toto.
You know what is so funny about that? You know what is funny about that? Imagine you hold someone of mismanaging a form, right? And at the end of the day, you tell the person, okay, because you mismanaged this phone, you gotta repay this money. The person pay the money, and the money was said, "Hey, no, go come again,
And reappropriate body. So Dada Toto,
Yeah, yeah, with it,
because
with it.
it's not, we are not there here accountable for nothing.
Yeah,
So
so
That's
with
people
it,
true.
do things, and it just
Yeah.
so I think we
with it,
can arrange for Brother Abraham have a
yeah,
conference
Yeah.
call with him and
reason
see how
we
far
can
he is.
yeah,
Then we pick up from there.
and with it, just before
Yeah.
you come in,
Mhm.
if at all we get connected with ABL
Mhm.
to try to reestablish the process, every fund that be raised for the particular purpose, we have to decide where that fund go.
No, absolutely.
Not be
Yeah.
unusual.
Most definitely.
Not
Most
be unusual.
definitely.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not going to be unusual. And this is what I will add to what Sis couple proposed. Because all of the actors are still here. Maybe because of just some engagement as all. But Dr. Jokar is here, and they all reviewed the document, and what's the name? Ambassador Tablo, everyone. So we will still go back to basics. And yes, true, you can hear that, that the proposal team, the Luther FM proposal, you can hear that, and we can have our our meetings and see what are the next steps that we can take. But that's what I would say. I know you said that today we have the university, and no offense, the university has picked up. The university was on the tarmac and they had to refuel and do everything, but the university has taken up now. It's moving gradually. It's going up, what they say, claim 35,000 feet above sea level, to start autopilot. We haven't reached the autopilot yet, but we're still going up. Okay, I would suggest that, but anyway, when we get to that point, we're going to discuss it. The Luther FM issue is going to be different. All right. And there's a reason why I'm about to say Dr. Lewali as well. But anyway, Director Lewali. Director Lewali, that's why he reached out. When he was with trauma healing, Elijah can attest to that. When he was with trauma healing, he was in the communication area, and he made some travels. He got some colleagues in South Africa. He got some colleagues in Australia, and they are involved with radio as well. So we can meet, since Bishop Patmo charged us with the responsibility, we can meet and then see the next steps that we can take. But actually, to Kopo's point, yes, the draft document is there, and we can pick it up from there. We can call a meeting and pick it up from there.
Yeah.
Elijah,
well, it's a very important and good thing to have this Luther FN established. And, this will be Luther FN 2.0 now. So and then we have to do all of the groundworks and make sure that everything is in place because
Yeah.
What's the
um,
1.0?
one of the things that when we are talking about,
Elijah,
we got
you talking
uh,
about 2.0. I said, where's the
They
1.0?
they made about a dig like the 1.0 couple are talking about. They money were repaid and they reap
Okay,
money were
okay,
reaped.
that will power. That will power.
yeah, yeah, this is 2.0 now. We're leaving 1.0. Whatever happened doing 1.0, everything, we hold all fighters constant and leave it just as it is and start with 2.0. And in starting with 2.0, we have to have already dedicated ground commander. When I say dedicated ground commander, like somebody on the ground who's really invested into establishing this radio station. We have a lot of young people in Liberia that are practicing journalism and other things,
Mhm,
Yeah.
and they
mhm.
want to be on the air. So we have to have some of these young people that are really vested into this field to be on board with this. They will bring in some good ideas as well. And one of the things that we need to also explore, because if we are taking the initiative, we can procure the transmission, we do the registration, everything. But now sustainability and the maintenance of the station will
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
another key thing. So
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the
that's
office of
key. How we're
Elijah,
gonna
bishop,
maintain, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Elijah, just a
Sustainability, big thing.
question. I know, or the insider. Do we say have the virtual Aaron quality in the church?
the what?
Aaron,
Aaron Colley. Now the thing with Aaron Colley runs his own institution now.
I just asked
Well,
it because he was one of those that involved in the previous 1.0.
yeah, I don't know about that whole Aaron Cotton thing, so I would not
Yeah,
say
so
anything about it.
we
But
can
what I
have other conversation. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be another thing. But what I would like to say is that we have to explore all of the opportunities and be very
yeah,
strategic in how we want to approach this 2.0 Luther FN, so that when we start, we cannot end. And the issue of maintenance, I think when we're meeting with the bishop's office, the issue of how the station will be maintained should be high on the agenda, because we don't want the radio station to open today. Tomorrow is closed because there's no current, because they
no
don't get
fee.
stopping. There's no
Yeah,
stopping for the young people that are running it. This and that. So the radio station closed. That will be 2. Then we'll start talking about 2.3 now.
and I mean, I I hope it is my fervent hope that it's not going to be like the Phoebe and the current hospital where it started at the end of the day it had now turned to a charitable a venture that funds cannot be raised
No,
from
no,
here. This Luther
definitely said not
FM,
going
we're
to be
definitely
that way.
going to
Yeah.
look into this Luther FM.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
but
could.
so that but that to the one thing that Brother Pakla has asked of, and I know on this show we decided the last Sunday is Bishop Hour. I like to suggest that second Sunday is we dedicate the second Sunday to the young people.
Wait, please remember
Yeah,
you are
but
not a host.
That's it. That's it. Okay.
So I'm just proposing
Okay.
to the
Remember
group.
you
We
are
can
not a
say,
host.
I think,
They
okay,
coming Sunday is not the last Sunday.
this
They bunk got 5 Sundays, so
one
you
get
should
fast
know
on
that.
there. Oh wow, I didn't
Yep.
know that.
No. This Sunday is not the last Sunday. The last one is the
Yeah.
30th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No, when it comes to the second Sunday
No,
issue, I
I'm
think
just proposing to the team. That's what I'm proposing to the
we can
team.
have. I think we can have a Auxiliary Sunday where we can
Okay,
try to
yeah,
rotate
Zolari
it.
Sunday. Yeah, second
Yeah,
Sunday,
we can
Zolari Sunday.
we can try to rotate it for the women, the youth, and the men. I
Okay,
think that
every second
will,
Sunday.
yeah,
Yeah, it
we'll
makes
try
sense.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can do it. We can make it like a Auxiliary Sunday.
Zolari Sunday. Okay, yeah,
Yeah. So
that's good. Yeah, it makes sense.
yeah. So
I mean, I agree with that.
we wanted that.
Yep.
Why should I be say so? The two takeaway for this show here, that especially for us as a podcast, the two takeaway for us see that the Luther FM is our priority, is our brainchild, and then the All Liberia Lutheran Conference is our brainchild also too. So if I all the platform can work and make sure that these two initiatives is implemented successfully, I think it will be an honor for us as a platform, the Malnutri Connection. So I will encourage you guys that work on that. We'll talk behind the scene. We'll try to engage Abel and other people that were part of that, part of the proposal that have been sent out. And what if you have the copy of that proposal, the email, you can try to share it. We also can try to peruse that proposal, and then we can try to schedule a meeting with Abel. We get hold of Abel, we can get hold of our Director General or Josiah, and others we can try to brainstorm and put, and then with the Bishop office also too, to start the initiative. But we can't be to get our closest statement done. So that means with Elijah in your closing for today. Elijah, so we discussed good issue, even though initially it was a little bit discouraging. But look at where we are. Beautiful comment from our viewers. They contributed a lot, and I feel so excited. Elijah, what's your take? What's your closest statement?
Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Toto, and thank you to our viewers. We are glad that we were here today and you guys are part of this discussion. In my closing, I just want those who did not listen to Dr. Joker's address to the men to take up the time and read or listen to the videos he posted. There are really good information in there that we can take and use it and work with it. Look at it from a very critical lens because he proposed a lot of good things for the LCR and how we can work together as a church to strengthen one another. So as we are, in this church, our mission is to make sure that the church is a place where we all can be happy, we all can fellowship together. We all shouldn't be walking the dynamite, they ready to explode, ready to bomb. And then when we are asked to talk about the situation, we shy away, we pretend. As we continue to pretend to one another, we're not solving the problems.
Mhm.
As we continue to be silent, we're not helping to solve the problem. You have to put your mouth to where your money is. If you cannot put your mouth to where your money is, then I don't know what you're doing. So I think it is important for us to work together as a church to support one another, support the leadership of the church to make sure that our church is successful. Thank you.
Thank you. Uh, couple, like I told Elijah, when we started the show, we were a little bit discouraged. Our because of our host, our guest rather could not be here, and we were a little bit down. But look at how the show went. We are all laughing. Discussion went well. Our viewer out there digested Josiah's speech, Dr. Joker's speech, and Bishop Seymour, and you get you make some beautiful point. So how you feel? And then with your closest statement. Yeah, muted.
Is that me? Brother Pepper?
Yeah.
What are we here, that one? Oh yes. Oh, everybody, I want to ask Elijah whether the way he's doing the whole speech now, what I hope Brother Joker did not promising someone to just promote this speech here now. Because not easy. Everybody will go read
About redistributing,
Yeah.
reappropriating,
Oh,
appropriation of reappropriating.
Put
I hope the
information in
team I promise you something that you
Nothing,
ever
nothing,
on the
nothing, nothing.
okay, like today from the beginning of the show, everybody was like somehow, especially my brother Woody. He was so I don't know why you put himself in gear like for, but at the end of the day, I think we all make it happen. It's okay. And I guess our audience enjoyed the show because we had a lot of comments. Everybody speaking of that man. Another thing, but I thought to talk about the issue of Exodus Sunday. I think that's a good one. Exodus Sunday. So it helps us. It helps us to know what is happening within our various Exodus, especially on the national level, on the district level. Even if we can go to the parish level, we should
yeah.
be able to go to the parish level. Even it shouldn't even be. We could also add a council to it. If they won't shy away to, I think we can add a council to it too, to tell us what is happening in the various parishes, especially when it comes to the developmental aspect of our parishes. That will help us. It will help to the highest extent. And boldness in our truth. Yes, that's one of the line in Brother Joker's speech. Elijah, I took that. Boldness in truth, bold in our truth telling. Well, how will we be in the church and we cannot say the truth to each other? Are we really Christian? For me, I don't see that. Because if you love me, you'll be able to tell me the truth and we'll trash it out and we'll move ahead. Yes, I think that should be the center of everything. But our church now is like it's so traditional that even when you say the truth, then they label you as being a frisky child. I don't think that should be done in that direction. But I just want to encourage all of us as Christians, as followers of Christ, we should be our brother's keeper. We should be able to look into our leader's face and tell them the truth once without any insult, right? You say the truth and there's no insult for me. I don't take that as an offense, but people take that as an issue. So if we really want our church to move forward, we should be able to say the truth. If we have started saying the truth from the beginning, the 25,000 only have been paid back today. If we were saying the truth, where our church is today, it won't be there today. If we're saying the truth, all money that have been misappropriated, it won't be done because you say the truth and people would take measures of those things. People will be held accountable of the actions. But lack of that, who cares? I will do it. Like we discussed it at 56,000 for last administration. And now it is alleged that this is done and that is done. So where are we going? Are we going anywhere? No, people are not afraid. People are not.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we need to really put our church first, and we take it as our own. Nobody will develop the church for us. Only our time offering developing our LCA. Only no money for us apart from the small money project they send for projects. So we need to say the truth and we move forward with each other. That's the only way our church will grow.
Definitely so.
Truth telling.
In terms of bonus, what they will take our home, let me just be one or two. Maybe he will get closer, but first, let me just say this. My first when I appear on my lottery connection to be one of the hosts or co-hosts, and a very good friend. I won't call the name, but very popular in the Lutheran church. Called me and said, "Oh, Dr. Toto, you are one of the more respected person in the Lutheran church. People look other people respect you. Please don't get mixed with Woody and Elijah then." Please don't get.
I'm glad they're recognizing us.
Please don't get mixed. People respect you too, but people in the Lutheran community, people respect you. Please don't get mixed. Please don't get mixed with Elijah and Willie there. Yeah, they just want to sit up because it's problem. So I said, "Oh no, man, don't go that far, man." Started talking, laughing. So I said, "Well, I want to be part of the problem too." To flirting up, but but this is the mindset of our church. It says that because to be part of the great team, I must say I take the phone, I reach out to people they invite them to be on the show. Somebody will tell me, they say, "Dada Toto, I want to come on that show because I want church their problem, but when I talk, I'll be the bad person. And because of that, I don't want to come on the show." I think there's most of them told me that if I one of the even one of the candidates in the past election, I reached to them also too. I said that can be discussed after election. What is your take for the next election just in case? That discuss, I say, "Oh man, right now, I don't want to talk anything that it will affect my chances just in case I want to run." No, so it is a problem. There's a problem. Our people don't want to address the problem. How we going to make a progress? We don't address the problem. There's an elephant somewhere that people are afraid for the elephant that will fall on there? I think that's the right direction. If we have to make progress, for the literature to move forward to be successful, we have to speak about the ill of our church and make the correction. Like we talk about the All Liberia Lutherans Conference. We want to work together with the bishop. The bishop come on the show again. We'll bring that question to him to see how best we can work to make that conference to be successful. In that 1 year, 2 year conference, we're talking about want to plan for a long term. It will take a 1 year to do that. Definitely do that. If it takes 6 months to do that, we have to plan that conference. We have to do that. And also the Luther FM, as I said, we'll discuss it behind the scene. Let's be the brainchild of this platform. Just how the Lutheran University become a brainchild of Aliyah, the Lutheran Church in Liberia. Let this be the brainchild of the platform here. And I'm sure we can work towards it. We can make it successful if I all get together and work towards it. So we want to say thank our viewer out there for coming. Next week will be the Credible Show. Next week also too, we'll try to get somebody or host. We don't know the name that will reach out. We'll make some engagement to know who will be the next guest for the show. We'll share, our Lutheran connection. So whether you can give your closest image, you can take her home.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Tutu, for hosting the show today again, and thanks to my colleague Barry Elijah and our sister Kopo, and to our viewers out there. Thank you so much. Thank you. Initially, yes, it is true that initially, that to every person, I was somehow downhearted that at the very last minute, we could not, like what we prepared for, but it did not really materialize. But again, like a couple said, I think the show is even better than our guest. I mean, maybe it's a blessing in disguise, but the show today, I think the show is so great. I mean, a lot of people, tune in and they give a lot of kudos for it. So I mean, I really appreciate the team again today. It makes me want to be part of this team all the time, But quickly, I would say this, that the Bible says that we should speak the truth in love so that we will grow to mature and represent Christ. That's Ephesians 4:15.
Yes,
and
you're not saying, but today I was
no, honestly, Brother Sina, and one thing, one thing, as an acolyte, a veteran acolyte, I would say, all right, let our light so shine before men that they will see our good work and glorify our Father which is in heaven.
Yeah.
We are not saying these things because we have nothing to do. We're less busy on this Sunday, so we just want to bob off the administration. We want to bob off past leadership. No, it is good that we come to the table. We share the ideas, we share our differences, and look for the way to move forward. Dr. you said this the last time, and I think I think it was either you or a couple or Elijah one said this, that we will not discuss an issue on the show. We have not discussed an issue on the show and don't talk about the way forward or next steps. We always do that. Okay, so with everything that has been said, Luther FM 2.0, and I will say this quite frankly, that the bishop specifically mentioned us in his speech in Ohio and charge us with the responsibility. So yes, and I want to say, let us go with this. This is our how you call it, vision child or dream child or little child that we have. All right.
Yeah.
That and we're gonna do this carefully. No offense to other people, how other projects or other programs were they were started, but we are going to we're going to investigate, like the model Leo talked about. We're going to do an assessment. We're going to investigate. We're going to find out if even the station should be on 13th Street compound. We don't know. Maybe it might be on 13th Street compound. Then that piece of land where the station is has to be leased again by, then they have to relocate. So where we think it's gonna be that we'll broadcast to a larger audience, like maybe it will go about Liberia, the entire country. So we will investigate, we'll explore all of those possibilities. Then we will say, okay, finally, this is what we're gonna do when we meet our partners. But again, guys, I want to join our audience and say great show. Thank you so much. This is the reason why we always want to be here. So again, folks, have a great and wonderful day. Dr. Toto, you are the host. Is there any last comment, or we gonna close
I
now?
mean, there's nothing else now. We just say thanks to everybody for appearing on the show. Let's try to meet again next week. And then to our viewer out, they will say thank you for tuning in as usual. We will look forward to see you all next week, and thank you all for coming. And have a great Sunday, everyone.
And Kopo is gonna be the host in April, guys. So just so you know.
Yeah, I would think.